Hi and welcome to most awesome Nikon.info. My name is Linus. I'm gonna walk you through how to make this HDR file in Adobe Photoshop. What we got here is Adobe Adobe Bridge, and what I got here is the images, the bracketed images from the camera. So this is the darkest image, and we move on up to the brightest images in this sequence. So I got 7 images, and I would pick probably this one. Let's see, we can zoom in here and see if it's got the details in the background that I would like, and it does. So I would take the darkest one, I'd take this one, and I would probably take the brightest one right here, and I might actually put that one as well. So I would take, in this case, I would take 4 images, and I would mark these like that and go up to Tools, Photoshop, and here we got Merge to HDR, and so you can just merge it to HDR, and it will load a screen. Just click OK, and it will be automatically put up in an HDR file. That means 32 bits in Photoshop. So here I got a PSD file that I already created with a 32. So this is a 32-bit file with all those 4 files merged into one file. So it looks like a normal file when you do this, but one difference is that when you go into your adjustment layers, you will find that you have. Let's see here. Let's bring you up here. You don't have all the various adjustment layers available. You just have a few, particularly this one is one that you would use a lot when you do HDR. So I'm going to just let's see here. Then you will be above. Okay, so this is, if you take a look at the image here, what we got here is the so-called finished product. It's just a rather quick shot, but here you can see what it looks like without the adjustments. So here's a typical file that I got from the camera without. This is just a normal 16-bit file. But once you have the HDR into 32 bits with different exposures, after doing some adjustments, I get this. So you see this part of the image is actually from another image than the original. So what you do is you can use exposure. Let's do like that, and here we go. And I'll bring this adjustment layer up here, and you can just dial the exposure down. So you see this is all in one file. So you just dial down the exposure, and now you have the correct exposure here in the room, but you don't have it in the window. The window still needs further down. So here you have the right exposure for this part of the image. Now this is too dark, and if we zoom out, we can see that, well, the rest of the image is absolutely way too dark. You can't see anything. So what you do is you actually make different exposures in different steps. That's how I do it, at least. And one of the ways to do that is, if we have this section cleared, and we know that, okay, this is how we want the outside. What you can do then is you made this layer, exposure 7, called here, but we can rename it to window. And you can go into paths. You can make a new path, or quite a few new paths actually. And what you can do is draw in the shapes, the shape of the window. There are, you can search the web. There's a lot of different ways how to make things transparent in Photoshop. This is one of the most used ones that I know of. I'm just gonna do this a bit quick. So you can do this in a few different ways. You can do it either as its own path, or you can make another click here on the mask icon to get a vector mask, and then you see, but then it's always gonna be hard edged, and you might not want that. So I prefer to do it in the other way, that I make a selection of this, and then I do another sort of, and then you see, I'm too tired. After doing that, I make it a normal mask that I blur. Let's see here. I'm doing this too seriously. It's just to prove a point. Okay, so let's say that is all. Darn it, I can't do it. Let's see here. So basically what you do is, I mean, the smart ones of you already understood what you're supposed to do. Is just to make the selections, and here you do, I control click on this path, and I control shift I makes it an inverted selection. I invert the selection, so you can see it's now inverted, and I can make sure that I have black as a background, and I can make just control delete, and if we zoom back in, now we see that we have actually made that part of the image is now in the right exposure, but we still have the middle room, which is way too bright now, and so we make another exposure correction. Let's make a new one like this, like that, and we go like that, something like that, right? Let's say something like that, and we'll zoom back out, and I would make another path. There's a lot of paths here, and I'll make just a quick selection here. Something like that, and make selection, and we do like, yeah, that's right. There we go. And so we have, now you see we have a selection of that part, and we can fade it out, but that's not the best version. The best way to do it is, I usually put them in a folder and give it a folder mask, and so I can do some external tweaking without screwing too much with the original mask. And so basically there you have it. Of course you need to work tweaks so that they all glue good together, and as you can see, this obviously was a bit of a messy path, but you understand the concept, and so that's how you blend these layers back in together with each other, and so we can have an exposure like this. So you have all the exposures in one file. I hope this helped you a bit in how to create a HDR file in Photoshop, and see you next time.